Welcome back to the Siegel Center for tonight's matchup between the VCU Rams and the Peacocks from St. Peter's. Sean Robertson, along with Ed Nixon, our entire Rams Unlimited crew. We said at the top of the broadcast, Ed, an opportunity for the fans here at the Siegel Center to see the full roster for VCU. Tyrell Ward didn't play opening night, did play in the game against Utah State out in Frisco. Him and Lazar Djokovic, both healthy, both active, both dressed for tonight's game.
Absolutely, and both of these guys are bringing you a little bit of something different on the court. Lazar is going to bring you some defense, some offense, some post offense. Well, Tyrell Ward is going to bring you some energy and some three-point shooting, all of which VCU is going to need tonight.
Scored 11 points in that loss against Utah State. Here are tonight's lineups for St. Peter's, sponsored by the Red Door guys. They can take care of your unwanted property quickly and easily, just like the Rams are about to handle the Peacocks. Call the Red Door guys at 804-373-7267. Brent Bland, our player to watch, along with TJ Robinson, Shaden Simpson, Ja'Kai Gupton, and Jaquan Ewing, the starting five. And for VCU, their normal starting five: Nick Lewis, the reigning Rookie of the Week in the A-10, with Brandon Jennings in the backcourt. Jadarian Tracy, along with Barry Evans and Lazar Djokovic, the Serbian Savage, the starting five for VCU.
I'm really excited for this game for multiple reasons, but number one being that both of these teams are going to play extremely hard, and they're going to compete. Both coaches are intense in their manner, and it bleeds into who the players are. So we're going to see a really hard-fought game tonight, and I'm excited for it. This is what college basketball is all about.
Wanted to remind you tonight our CarMax keys to the game. CarMax, home of the 30-day money-back guarantee. Clarence Armstrong, AJ Desai, and Claire Aubrey, the three officials this evening, as we're about to have some basketball here at the Stew as VCU controls the opening tip. Home court dominance for the Rams. They've won 16 of their last 17 home games dating back to last year.
Now VCU is really going to have to figure out how to attack this matchup zone that St. Peter's is going to put on.
Shot clock under 10 for Tracy, who draws iron and the net to give VCU an early lead.
And that's one of the keys to the game. St. Peter's is going to have to limit VCU's three-point opportunities, because this team can get really hot and stay hot.
They are the #1 shooting team from three in the A-10. It's early, but that was a 26 made three this season. Shot clock is under 10, blocked by Lazar on Robinson, recovered by Simpson, and that was denied. And VCU will have 4 seconds on defense to work with.
What a lovely luxury to have a shot blocker underneath. You know, when I was playing, we had Larry Sanders back there. It made the guards extremely lazy because they would just let him go.
Got himself a good NBA contract as Bland goes up strong and scores the Peacocks' first two. Here is Lewis up ahead quickly for VCU. Knocked out of bounds by Lewis, and St. Peter's back on offense.
Good hands by St. Peter's. But did you observe how fast VCU got the ball out? They are going to try to push the tempo and control the pace and not allow St. Peter's to get set up in that zone.
Both of these teams love to run early in the year. Phil Martelli's teams at Bryant were one of the fastest a year ago.
VCU coming out switching all screens.
Shot clock is at 10 for the Peacocks. Robinson on the switch by Evans. Found Ewing at the mid-post and gives the Peacocks an early lead.
What a great move by Robinson.
Here's Jennings trying to create. Does to Djokovic, and Djokovic brings it home.
Right back at you.
Pretty movement without the ball, and that ankle looks good by Djokovic.
Showing some toughness and resilience.
Rolled his ankle not once but twice in the loss Friday night to Utah State. Came back and played most of that game in that three-point loss.
And that's a sign of toughness. Not everybody can come back.
Bland with the long two over Djokovic. Splashes at home, scored a career-high 27 in the win against Fairleigh Dickinson last Saturday. Hounding defense there by Ewing on the outside. VCU will maintain it.
And VCU is going to have to stay in Bland's jersey. He has a quick trigger, and he's always looking to shoot. So any daylight he gets, he's going to let it go.
Seeing that last play there, Djokovic, who only took one shot against Utah State because of the injuries, scored a career high in opening night against Wagner, scored 21. Tracy had his shot blocked, and they're going to call Tracy with the foul.
And St. Peter's defense is going to be really hard to defend. Really hard to go against. They have a lot of athleticism, and this matchup zone is something that gave VCU trouble when they were playing Utah State as well. Both of these teams are facing something similar. St. Peter's played Seton Hall. Seton Hall liked to pressure the ball, get after them. And VCU played Utah State, which likes the matchup zone. So now we see who can make the adjustments to improve, that they can handle the zone.
Djokovic on the switch against Robinson. 3 minutes gone by in the opening half. Robinson fades away over Djokovic and switches it home.
That was sweet.
The true freshman from Patterson, New Jersey, has the Peacocks ahead by 3. Good ball movement by the Rams. Jennings on the drive. Djokovic kept it alive, keeps it for VCU.
And that's one thing the VCU Rams can do, and that's crash the offensive board.
Jennings from straight away. Djokovic inside, causes a tie-up, and the arrow will favor St. Peter's. That was a point of emphasis this week for Coach Marcelli. Had to crash the glass because that was something St. Peter's loves to do, being very, very physical on both backboards.
And one thing I noticed just throughout my experience of playing, it is extremely hard to box out when you're playing the zone. Now, granted, they're playing a matchup zone, so you should have a man. However, but with all the ball moving VCU's doing, once a shot goes up, it'd be in their best interest to send 3 or 4 guys at the rim to crash the offensive board.
Evans with the assignment on Robinson as the Peacocks lead by 3. Here is Simpson inside. Gets his own miss, and Djokovic yanks it away from Simpson. Biggest thing on the matchup zone offensively for VCU would be what?
I think it's getting paint touches. You don't want to sit outside and just hoist threes. I think it's going to be big for the 3s and the 4s to get paint touches and create either opportunities for themselves or for kick-out threes. That's the best way to attack that zone.
Tracy had an opportunity, couldn't convert. Robinson, again, deflected by Djokovic. A couple of deflections by the Serbian Savage as Jennings will go to the line. And that brings us to our first timeout of the first half. Jennings will go to the line when we come back as St. Peter's leads by 3. St. Peter's with a 3-point lead on VCU here at the Siegel Center. Sean Robertson, Ed Nixon, our entire Rams Unlimited crew. Early assessment so far.
Early assessment, both teams are playing hard. I think VCU needs to continue to crash the glass offensively and defensively. And St. Peter's needs to continue to do what they're doing, and that's attacking downhill and attacking the rim. They have a 6-2 lead on points in the paint. And if you know me, you know my key stat is points in the paint. Whoever wins that usually wins the game.
Brandon Jennings at the line. The sophomore from right here in Richmond, attended St. Chris High School. A great scorer in high school, nearly 1,400 points as a member of the Saints. And really a true ambassador for VCU athletics since joining the program.
Absolutely. Brandon Jennings is a well-raised kid who really does everything on the court right, does his job in the school. So he's a guy that other guys can look up to, even though he's only a sophomore.
Jennings converts on both free throws. That's a 1-point St. Peter's lead. Tokes Bakari, wearing number 4, in for the first time, along with Bryce Eaton. Bland from deep and drains it.
And that's what one of my coaches, Anthony Grant, now the coach at Dayton, would say, that's false hustle. Barry went for the steal, completely removed himself out of the play, and gave up a 3. Can't do that, especially when you have Mr. Bland out there. Made him pay.
He's got 7 of the 11 Peacocks points to lead by 4. Shot clock is at 10 for VCU. Nice look by Evans inside to Furman, and he's fouled.
And that's where Evans is going to have to feast. In that zone, there's a gap in the middle. When you catch it in the middle, you cannot be timid. You have to turn and attack. Attack to get your own, and if the defense steps up, drop down to the big, should be open all night.
Furman, probably a disappointing line for him in that loss to Utah State. Did not score, had four blocks, which was big, and only 3 rebounds against the Aggies.
And, you know, Furman is not one of the guys that VCU is necessarily looking for scoring. But, however, when he can chip in 6 to 8 points, VCU looks like a different team.
Evans, an offensive rebound for VCU. Around the horn to Ward, who just checked in. Jennings flies in for an offensive rebound. That won't go in. Ward kept it alive to Furman. He'll get another chance at the line.
And as you can see, St. Peter's is having a hard time keeping VCU off the glass. VCU is long and athletic, but don't get me wrong, they are the Broad Street bullies. So if you don't put a body on them, they will make you pay on the glass.
Those offensive rebounds, you go back to game 1 against Wagner when Martelli was preaching that they have to get the offensive rebounds, get second chance opportunities. And on that trip, that was at least 3 more offensive rebounds for the Rams, and Furman converts on that opportunity.
2 for $1.
He said, I'm not going to miss 4 in a row. Bodies hit the floor, loose ball out of bounds, and it will go to VCU.
And just like I said, Tyrell Ward, he's going to come off the bench, give you shooting and a ton of energy. And there's example A right there.
Ward, the second team A-10 preseason selection, the transfer from LSU. Played his high school ball at DeMatha. Evans to his right. Jennings in the lane. Extra pass to Ward, a corner 3, and a foul.
Now that is what you call offense. Multiple paint touches, making the extra pass. I coach 14 and under. I always say, one more, make the one more pass. You got a good shot, get a great shot. And that's a great example of that right there. I hope the kids are watching.
Coach Nixon right there. I was wondering if you were going to say that. We want a good pass, we want a great pass. And it resulted in Ward's first basket. And there's a little bit of more energy, a little more lift for Ward, getting an opportunity to return to the game. He sat out all of last year at LSU and then made the transfer, wanted an opportunity to be at home, so to speak.
Get a fresh start.
Fresh start. And he was able to do that. Knows Coach Daly, one of the assistants at VCU from his time in Michigan. Knew him since the 7th grade, and he was like, felt that this was the opportunity for him. And the Rams have a 2-point lead and a foul away from the ball, which will go against Ahmad Noel, number 4.
You know, sometimes you just need a fresh start. I had an ex-girlfriend tell me that. I need a fresh start.
And look where you are right now.
Oh, I'm happily married.
There you go. What, a baby girl in attendance?
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Kinsley.
There you go. Rams on a 6-0 run over the last minute. Eaton's pass inside to Ewing, and Ewing goes glass to tie it up. And lost his shoe in the process. Jaquan Ewing, young man from transfer from Xavier out of Louisiana. Most experienced player was added this season. Taking care of that missing shoe.
Also, St. Peter's giving VCU a little bit of their own medicine on the offensive board right there.
Rams just 1 for their last 8 from the field. See if Terrence Hill can change that. Wearing number 6, first time we've seen him in the lineup. He'll spot up for 3.
And that's what Terrence Hill Jr. can do all day and all night. St. Peter's is going to have to be in his jersey because he doesn't waste time getting the shots up.
On opening night, he scored a career-high 17 against Wagner, hit 3 threes in that game against the Seahawks. A 3-point Rams lead.
St. Peter's trying to take advantage of VCU switching and get the ball in the post with the big being guarded by Noel.
Williamson backs it down. Got contact from Furman and will go to the line.
I think if Noel would have held his ground just for one more bump, he could have drew an offensive foul. But not everybody got that skill.
That's true.
You have to have the skill. You have to know the game to do that. You got to play the game.
There you go.
Be the James Harden of defense. Manipulate the referees.
And you can do it in a multitude of ways. Zakir Williamson, the senior from Philadelphia by way of Buffalo, is at the line. Played in 44 games in 2 seasons with the Bulls after redshirting in the 21-22 season due to injury. So both coaches who have said this season they want to go deep to their bench. They will play between 10 to 12 guys if necessary, especially with Martelli, who is not used to having a deep bench, but he's not complaining with it.
What a luxury for some teams to be able to go 11 guys deep. Some coaches don't even like to do that. And we'll see if VCU can really hold up to it. Some teams shorten their lineup as the season goes.
Noel draws contact and will go to the line. That will give him a chance to get on the scoreboard as Eric Morgan, a transfer from UDC, picks up his first. Now, you played for a couple. Played for Grant and also Shaka. How far down in the bench? I know Shaka would go 10, maybe 11. What about Coach Grant?
Coach Grant was not doing that. You hear me? Coach Grant goes about 7, 8 deep. And other than that, it's situational. You know, so you got to stay on the edge of your seat. You have to be involved in the game, even if you don't get into the game.
Noel hits on both, and when we asked Coach Martelli about that, he's like, it's a win-win because everybody remains engaged. Everybody gets an opportunity to see the game from a different perspective and that extra lift when you get on the floor.
Absolutely.
And for those guys that get the bit, get that opportunity to get a rest, you can give it all for 2-3 minutes at a time.
Absolutely. When you trust your teammates and coach trusts his players, they can go out there and just give it all they really have. And they'll be asking to come out the game afterwards.
Williamson in the post. And the rebound to Tracy. Here is Hill in transition. Tracy left open for 3. His second from downtown. Now has 6 for VCU, who's ahead by a half dozen.
And I must say, he has surprised me with his stroke. I know that he could shoot the ball coming into this season. However, his shot selection and his ability to make shots is impressing me.
He's shooting 50% on the year now from 3.
Hey now, stay down.
He said, watch out for me when conference play begins, as Williamson is called for a walk. And that brings us to a timeout on the floor. 11:24 left. The Rams have made their last 3 shots, to include that one by Jadarian Tracy to go ahead 21-15. VCU's getting hot here in this first half as they've made their last 3 shots for head coach Phil Martelli Jr. in his first season with the Rams after a successful 2-year stint at Bryant, in which he led them to the NCAA tournament last season as American East champs. Right now he's looking at a 6-point lead over St. Peter's.
And VCU's getting it done by shooting the long ball. They're 4 for 8 right now, shooting 50% from the 3-point line. However, St. Peter's has 8 points in the paint compared to VCU's 2. However, VCU's bench is really showing up with 11 points so far.
I think that's going to be a staple this year for the Rams.
I think so, too.
Tracy, Djokovic, Hill, Noel, and Ward, the 5 for VCU. Nice entry pass to Djokovic, and he lays it in.
And that's one of the options that Djokovic gives you. He can post up. He can play outside. He's a very versatile big. Almost like you want to say, dare I say, league.
Ooh, which one? You got overseas,
in
you got the
time.
G, or you got the league?
The league. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Only time will tell.
He's a 3-level scorer, no question. And if he stays healthy, that's going to be pivotal for the Rams. Backdoor cut deflected by Djokovic. Shot clock is down to 2 for Simpson, and Djokovic said, not tonight.
No, sir, Bobcat tell. That's what my dad would say.
And we've talked so much about his offensive game. That's the dimension.
That's a dimension that VCU loves to have. You know, we're going to have pesky guards and wings to get up under you. If you happen to beat him off the dribble, now you have to go against the joke, and he's going to send your shot out of bounds. So it's really tidying up VCU's defense. They're going to be really hard to score on as the season goes.
1 to shoot for St. Peter's. Robinson's pass deflected and a shot clock violation. Evans with great denial on the inbound.
And how about this? Barry Evans was looked at to be the best player on this team. This year, he really hasn't got going yet, averaging about 5 points, 5 rebounds per game. Not saying that he's not contributing, but everybody believes that he can do a little bit more, and it's only a matter of time before he figures it out.
He came in second team preseason. Hadn't played a game in the A-10, and we got that accolade to begin his VCU career. Shot clock is under 7 for Djokovic, and he'll go to the line. And goes through contact, too, as well.
You got to love physicality. You know, a lot of people look at basketball as a soft sport, and that's only the NBA. Other than the NBA, basketball is a very physical sport. And if you look overseas, physical. Look at women's basketball. Look at the WNBA. The WNBA is extremely physical.
And your game has to morph. It has to evolve with that new style.
Absolutely.
Djokovic made the first, continues the run for VCU, now 8-0 run as he misses the second. Tracy kept that alive, and great heads-up play to throw it off of Robinson.
Talk about hustle. Talk about hustle. St. Peter's really has to fix. That's unacceptable, and the coach has to be livid because that's off of a free throw where you get to, hey, I got this box out. You get shooter. So you get to communicate, and when that still happens, it does nothing but infuriate a coach.
Bashir Mason, a former Drexel grad who's had success here as a player at the Stu, the head coach at St. Peter's. Here's Tracy working against Bland.
Good defense by Bland.
And forces a turnover. Only the Rams' second turnover of the first half. Evans has the assignment on Robinson, the true freshman. He's
shifty. I like his game.
Here's Robinson's floater is good over Tracy and Djokovic.
What I tell you, Robinson is shifty.
Scored a career-high 16 against Fairleigh Dickinson last Saturday in his first start for St. Peter's. Inside to Djokovic, and he draws contact.
And St. Peter's is going to have to do a better job of not allowing Djokovic to camp right under the rim. They're allowing him to get too much of good position. Now, for VCU, that's a great thing. But if St. Peter's want to continue to play in this game, they're going to have to figure that out.
Ja'Kai Gupton whistled for his first. And that'll send Djokovic back to the line. He already has 5 points along with 3 rebounds and at least 3 blocks so far as Nick Lewis returns to the lineup for VCU to replace Tracy. Djokovic makes both The Rams are 10 for 13 from the line early on. That was a number we looked at from Friday's game to say that could have been the difference in the game.
Absolutely. And with any game, any close game, you want to win, you're going to have to make free throws down the stretch. It's good to see that VCU's off to a good start.
Before tonight, they were only shooting 63% as a team as Bland draws the foul on Nick Lewis. The A-10 Rookie of the Week, his first foul. And the new rule in college basketball this year, the continuation.
Ooh.
You notice the official did not say no foul on the floor. They were going to let that play out to see if that was going to go in. One of the new rules in college basketball.
Now, I have a theory about the NCAA and the NBA and how they're trying to keep things separate. But however, the NCAA has to start conforming to the NBA in order to stay alive and well. So that could be part of that theory, but I'm not going to go into put my tinfoil hat on. I'm not going to do that tonight.
You probably got a few rules that would say let's link it up with the NBA. Here's Ward in the corner getting the bounce and another foul. Looks like it was away from the ball. That basket will count. And VCU will go to the stripe.
And remember, I spoke about how VCU played a matchup zone against Utah State, and they had to learn from that in order to be able to attack this matchup zone. And it looks like they're doing a great job executing, finding the open man, making the extra pass, and executing.
Ward's three will count. That gives him 7. And Djokovic returns to the line where he's now 4-5 from the strike. How about that? 10, now 11 of 14 from the line. St. Peter's has only attempted 4 in the first half.
Which is odd to think about because St. Peter's has been the aggressor of attacking the rim.
And VCU is getting the benefit of the whistle in this first half. That was their 15th free throw attempt in the first half.
Well, I think VCU's doing a good job on the offensive end of getting the ball down in the post. And St. Peter's is not being in the proper guard position is leading to fouls.
Bol Agu wearing number 14 in for the first time. Trying to call for that mismatch on Jennings in the post. Robinson had it stripped by Evans. Here's Evans going into the lane.
And that's where his game really excels, in transition. He has such a great athleticism and such a great handle to get all the way to the rim.
Jennings came up with a deflection as bodies hit the floor off the inbound. VCU on a 7-0 run and have made their last 6 from the field. Here's Agu for 3. Jennings the rebound. Extra passing goes to Ward. And Bland is fouled inside, and they'll call that on Brandon Jennings, trying to cause a tie-up.
That was a very quick whistle for
a
foul. I thought it was going to be a jump ball. I thought he did a great job.
But right now it's been all VCU as they lead by 14. Well, inside the St. Peter's huddle is the head coach, Bashir Mason, in his 4th season with the Peacocks, a 3-time NEC Coach of the Year, a Drexel grad who, as I mentioned earlier in the half, scored a game-winning basket against VCU in this building as a Dragon some years ago, and actually jumped on the scores table, thought he was playing soccer, took off his jersey and was celebrating in front of Ram Nation that night.
I must say I do miss the Drexel matchups. Drexel was always a physical, really physical team, so it's no surprise that St. Peter's is carrying on that same tradition.
Boy, they had some wars with you guys when y'all were in the CAA.
My goodness.
Man.
Oh, my goodness.
Shot clock's at 5 for Bland, trying to work against Furman. Fades away on the baseline. Offensive rebound picked up by Gupton. Bland left open for 3. And the rebound tipped to Hill.
VCU fortunate right there.
Nice pass to Furman inside. Bland will get whistled for the foul. Could have been a three-point opportunity by Furman, the senior from out of Pennsylvania.
VCU got pretty fortunate there, giving Bland 2 good looks at the basket. Unfortunately, he was unable to convert. Now, on the other end, VCU is doing a great job of really pressing the pace. They're not allowing St. Peter's to run back and set up this matchup zone. They're doing a good job getting into the paint, finding their bigs. This is the most I've seen Lazar and Furman on the free throw line, and it's all predicated because of VCU's guard ability to get in the paint.
Between those two guys, they have attempted 11 of the 16 free throws in this half. Furman is now 3 of 6. Djokovic 5 of 6 from the strike.
With that NIL money, they need to go take the guards out to dinner. Fleming's.
Ooh. Ooh. That is a nice spot. Bland trying to get some help. Found Bryce Eaton. Second team All-MAC performer. Gupton trying to go up against Noel and lost the ball. Bakari for 3. Gupton races it down in a reset. The 6th offensive rebound for St. Peter's in this half. 5 to shoot. Eaton. Another offensive rebound, that time by Williamson, and he draws a foul on Furman, his second.
Williamson did a really good job of fighting for position, getting the inside position and moving Furman all the way out the way, pushing him to the A-10 symbol, and getting in position to get the offensive rebound. And VCU was always a half a step slow on that possession with the switches. They need to do a better job of communicating them.
Barry Evans will get a breather as Michael Bell returns to the Rams lineup as we're at the 6-minute mark of this first half. Bland in the corner. Knocks down another 3 and a foul away from the ball. That basket will count for Brent Bland now with a dozen.
One thing that you cannot do when you are guarding a shooter is shoot the gap. What do I mean by shoot the gap? When a screen is being set, you have to lock in and follow the shooter. If you try to shoot the gap between the screen, you're going to get burned. You're giving Bland that little bit of daylight he needs to get that shot off. And VCU paid for that right there. Michael Bell paid for it. Now he's on the bench.
And now a possibility for a 4 or 5 point trip by the Peacocks. Bakari at the line for a 1-and-1. That's at least 4 points for this trip for St. Peter's.
Discipline. Discipline. When you're playing and you're guarding, for me, as a defender, when you're guarding an elite scorer, you have to be disciplined and follow the scouting report to a T if you want to be successful.
A 5-point trip for the Peacocks, now trailing by 10. Nice passing inside to Ward. Hot potato for VCU and Ward, the benefactor. That's how you beat the zone right there.
That's how you beat the zone. That's how you beat the press with the pass.
Notice Ward flexing to the fans right there. He's loving it right now. First game wearing the home jersey for Tyrell Ward. Eden three-pointer was partially deflected, but they say no. I thought it was deflected.
And the fans are letting them hear it.
A turnover for St. Peter's, but back to the passing.
Great way to attack right there. Great way to attack. Great cut by Ward.
He's tied for the team lead with 9, along with Djokovic. We're at the 5-minute mark of the opening half.
Looks like a little bit of confusion for VCU.
Tracy with the head fake, got 2 men up in the air. Ball tapped back to Eaton. A 12-point VCU lead as St. Peter's trying to cut more off of the deficit. They've made 1 of their last 7 from the field.
And if you're St. Peter's, you got to just do a good job of hanging in there. And Bland is going to keep you in the game.
Boy, he has become the assassin for St. Peter's in this first half. 15 for the senior, the fifth-year senior from out of New York. Furman keeps it alive and will go to the line. Bryce Eaton is called for his first, but Bland, he's living up to the player to watch.
Absolutely, he has a quick trigger. If you give him that, space, he'll make you pay. You make a mistake, you shoot the screen instead of following and being attached, he'll make you pay. If you're out of position, he'll make you pay.
Another miss at the line for Furman.
Almost like United States with taxes.
Touche there. It's a touche. One more for Furman. It's now 3 of 8 from the line in this first half. That's the good news is he's attempted 8 free throws.
Right.
The switch by Ward on Bland. Now another switch as Tracy has the assignment with under 10 to shoot.
VCU did a better job of possession staying attached.
And Eaton blew right by him, missed the layup. Noel with the rebound. Hill in transition, got it.
That's what he does.
Man, you gotta be on him as soon as he come in the gym. 6 for the sophomore.
He pulled that one up from pretty deep.
He did. I think he shot that from Portland. Under 3.5 to go. Noel almost forced a turnover, and he did.
And I was just going to add, Noel does a really good job of heating up the ball handler, and it paid dividends right there.
No other great defensive play there by Noel to give VCU a 12-point lead. VCU leading 39-27, but Brent Bland has 15 of the Peacocks' 27 points, 3 of which from downtown.
And this guy is an elite shooter, an elite scorer. You know, VCU has did a pretty good job on him. Actually, some of these shots are hard to hit. And sometimes you can play good defense with just better out.
Absolutely, you tip your hat. Just like they did to Terrence Hill in transition on that last basket. He's got 6. In fact, the balance scoring again showing up for VCU. Ward and Djokovic each with 9. Tracy and Hill each with 6 so far.
And VCU's bench already with 20 points. Spectacular. In the words of Future, sensational.
Coming up on 3 to go. Here's Hill with a little bunny and now has 8. Could be another maybe 8 to 10 point score off the bench for Coach Martelli this year.
And he's not going to be your typical 8 to 10 point scorer because there's going to be nights, I'm calling it now, there's going to be nights where he's going to get 20 or get pretty darn close to it.
He could. With his quick release, it's hard for the defense to catch up. Bland's called for it and shoots for 3. Long rebound recovered by Bland. He'll shoot another 3 and hit another 3.
VCU, everybody ran away, tried to get in transition before they secured the ball. And again, Bland made him pay. You make a mistake, he's going to tax you.
18 for Bland in this first half. Noel turns it over. Noel gets it back. He's got numbers. Tracy left open for 3. And St. Peter's will get the rebound on a VCU foul.
You know, when you get to watch the difference in how the game is played today opposed to
when you played?
Let's say 15 years ago, 17 years ago. Do you know how fast I'd have been pulled out the game for pulling a 3 on a 3-on-1 with Lassard athletic self?
Would that be before or after your teammates say, what are you doing? They give you a look like as you're
Man,
walking?
we had one dude that could do that. Rozelle. Shout out to Brandon Rozelle on the coaching staff now.
Mayor.
But everybody else, go get him.
What did Petro Ewing say to the player at Georgetown?
What did he say? I can't remember.
Did you practice that shot?
Did you practice that shot?
That's a meme. You can look that up. That's a meme. He looks dead at him like, did you practice that shot?
With all seriousness in his eyes.
Ewing with 2 made free throws, and it's a 9-point VCU lead with under 2 minutes to go. VCU led by as many as 15 in this first half. Tracy gave Hill some help.
VCU can't get bored with doing the little things.
Pass deflected by Bakari. Here come the Peacocks, down by 9.
And attention to detail is really coming back to bite VCU right now. If you're a VCU fan, you hope they can figure that out.
And no
before
Bland.
St. Peter's gets hot.
No Bland on this trip. Noel with great denial. Shot clock at 9 for St. Peter's as Ward replaces Tracy. Bakari with the inbound to Robinson with 5 on the shot clock. Ewing with 1 and doesn't get it off. Does not get it off in time. Basket will not count.
Great active hands by VCU there, getting deflections. Sometimes I feel like deflections are underrated because it throws off the rhythm of offense, throws off the time, and right there it caused a shot clock violation.
Something we haven't asked, actually, Coach Martelli about that. Do they even keep a count of how many deflections they would like to see in a game? I remember Rhodes would have up to like 40. He thought 40 plus was a good night defensively. Dangerous pass deflected by Eaton, and he comes up with the loose ball. Simpson a pull-up 3.
And if I was a coach, I would be turning at the bench right now, scrambling my brain of who I can get in there to pull him out. Because that was a selfish, unnecessary three-point shot when you had a man wide open in the corner. Now I understand you're trying to get your rocks off, but play within the team set, and that was a selfish play.
VCU possible 2-for-1 opportunity. Lewis a deep 3 was halfway down, and Gupton the rebound with the shot clock off. As St. Peter's will use their use it or lose it timeout.
And St. Peter's is in a good position. They got down 15, had a chance to get down 20, fought back. They have this game right under the double digits. They have a chance to bring it even closer. So on the road with a team shooting this well from 3, you're in a good spot.
And they will also have the opportunity to bring back Bland on this last trip with the shot clock off. VCU in a scoring drought of nearly 3 minutes as they've seen that 15-point lead go down to 9. And the stars of the first half, Brent Bland leading all scorers with 18, and Lazar Djokovic a team-high 9 points along with Tyrell Ward.
Now, St. Peter's in this second half, I hate to jump ahead, but they're going to need somebody else to help Bland out. Usually when a player has a big scoring half like this, it's hard to replicate in the second half. St. Peter's going to have one of their other guys show up and help him out.
The next highest scorer is Jaquan Ewing with 6 for the Peacocks. And Bland, looking at it right now, he remains on the bench for St. Peter's. So Bryce Eaton might be the #1 option on this set. Game clock under 10. Simpson creating. Out of bounds to VCU with 1.6 seconds, and Coach Martelli will use that 30-second timeout to set up a play with 1.6 to go.
I'm very surprised Coach Mason decided to keep Bland out of that last possession. I mean, he has 18 points. I mean, he's absolutely killing it. I wonder what the strategy is to keep him out of the game.
Maybe not picking up that second foul. He does have a foul, but the way he's been shooting, I'm with you. I'm a little surprised he didn't
What's the likelihood
bring him in
of
after the
getting an offensive
timeout.
foul?
Yeah. He came in averaging 14.5 in his first 2 games, so he has surpassed that in the first half alone. And was coming in 6 of 12 from 3, 4 of 6 so far in the first half for Bland.
Shooters will shoot.
Spoken from a true shooter and Ed Nixon. Tracy, Hill, Ward, Evans, and Djokovic, the 5 for VCU. Touchdown pass recovered by Simpson, and the first half will end like that. VCU led by as many as 15 in the first 20 minutes, but the Peacocks have fought back to get within 9 at the break. TJ will have the halftime activities here from the Siegel Center as VCU leads 41-32 at the break.
Oh boy.
Yeah!
Back here to start the second half, thanks to TJ handling the halftime activities here at the Siegel Center. VCU with a 41-32 lead. Sean Robertson, Ed Nixon, remember the 2011 Final Four team and our entire Rams Unlimited crew. What do you want to see from VCU to start the second half?
I want to see VCU clean up their defense. I want to see them take care of the basketball. And I want to see them continue to crash the boards. Now for St. Peter's, they have to do the exact opposite. They have to keep VCU off the boards and keep getting Bland open. Whatever you do, keep getting the ball in Bland's hands.
He led all scorers in the first half with 18. Came in averaging 14.5. And coming off a 27-point performance Saturday against Fairleigh Dickerson, which was a career high. VCU will start this half with their starting 5 with Lewis, Djokovic, Jennings, Evans, and Tracy. Bland is in to start the second half for St. Peter's, and a strong move inside by Barry Evans.
And that's a really good sign for VCU. Barry Evans has no problem getting to his spots, but he's had trouble finishing these first 2 games, and it's good to see him get it going.
Robinson, Gupton, Simpson, Ewing, and the aforementioned Bland with a game-high 18 on the floor for the Peacocks. Here's Gupton. And Evans chases down the rebound. Looks ahead to Lewis, the reigning A-10 player of the week, who draws contact and a chance at a 3-point play.
Sick Nick Lou for 2. Don't stand too close, you might catch the flu.
How do you come up with things? You need another life as a DJ or MC or something.
I was a rapper in my former life.
I mean, just so fluid. Just so fluid with it. Bet you Nick would listen to this and was like, man, get that man a contract. Lewis completes the 3-point play as the lead balloons to 14. Quick 5-0 run for VCU to start the half, and another great defensive play by Lewis to cause the turnover on Simpson.
And it's important to win the first 4 minutes. And that is not how Coach Mason would like to start.
And as soon as that happens, Simpson will be sent to the bench. And Lewis, nice acting there to draw the foul.
All guards learned how to throw that head back. Bow.
Where'd you learn that from?
Darius Diaz.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good, yeah, that's a good one.
Go back and watch some film of Darius in college. He used to throw that head back.
That's a good one. Good play there by Bland to cause that turnover. Jennings with the assignment on Robinson.
Tough assignment.
Young man from out of Patterson, New Jersey, the hometown of our colleague, Jacinda.
Ah.
One of the best to ever wear a VCU jersey. She's the women's analyst for the home games here.
I was unfamiliar with her game. I was unfamiliar with the game.
She can, yeah.
She was about a bucket.
Oh, yes, she was. Absolutely. And she's probably smiling as she's watching this, preparing for her next game this week. Shot clock under 10 for Patterson. Fades away over Jennings and goes glass for the basket.
Robinson's turnaround fadeaway has been butter all game. Well defended, but still butter.
He don't play like a freshman, I tell you that.
Not at all.
Here's Tracy going up against Ewing. Twisting and grinding, had it blocked by Ewing. Coach Martelli barking for a foul, didn't get it. Ewing on the other end, lost it.
Good hands by Nick Lewis.
Lewis had it taken away
Good
as Robinson hits the floor. And Martelli didn't like that at all as Lewis was whistled for his second.
You gotta love a coach that'll go to bat for you.
Checking, Lewis has called for his third. And he will go to the bench to be replaced by Noel. This is the luxury of the deep bench that we're seeing right now when a guy gets in foul trouble like Lewis. Here comes another guy. Noel, the transfer from UConn, and another forced turnover off the inbound by VCU.
Sloppy play by both teams. They're both competing hard, but they're just not executing easily executable plays. Turning the ball over on inbounds will drive a coach up a wall.
Can they score off of the turnover as VCU leads by a dozen? Djokovic!
Great ball movement right there. And like I said, Barry Evans or whoever's in that position that catches at the center of the press, they have to be aggressive. Barry Evans did a really good job turning, seeing the defense, finding Djokovic for the slam.
The Serbian savage with the sledgehammer. And it starts with a ball reversal. 4 of the 5 players touched the ball on that trip as Djokovic can't convert on the three-point play.
Yeah, VCU's doing a really good job of attacking the zone. I can't stress that enough. This matchup zone can give a lot of people a hard time scoring. It can confuse a lot of offenses. But VCU did a great job.
Bland, catch and shoot. Well off and out of bounds to VCU. I guess the good thing about having seen that already with Utah State, it was a quick turnaround. You played them on Friday, and now you're playing them tonight on a Wednesday, so you can easily be familiar of the tendencies of the matchup zone.
Absolutely.
Jennings had it taken away, but also was fouled as Bryce Eaton is called for the personal.
And it's a thin line when you're attacking the press to not get sped up, but also be aggressive. So you want to attack the score, but however, you don't want to get sped up. And VCU was right on that edge right there of getting sped up. It could have led to a turnover.
Already 4 team fouls for the Peacocks with 3 minutes gone by in this second half. Evans to Djokovic and had it blocked by Williamson. And Evans draws a foul on Bland.
Great defense by Williamson there. I'll meet you at the rim.
Williamson said he would not be posterized by Djokovic,
Not today.
who already got somebody earlier in this half. Williamson stands 6'7", Djokovic 6'11". And Williamson held his ground.
Perfect timing. Perfect timing.
Tokes Bakari, as he likes to be called. He was told by the SID for St. Peter's, Colin Wagner. Did a good job helping us out before the game. Here's Evans in the lane. That was blocked by Ewing.
Tell you what, St. Peter's is not going out without a fight, and they are competing on a defensive end.
This guy's got some hops, too.
Absolutely. They're a long and athletic team.
3.5 minutes gone by in the second half. Eaton, the switch by Djokovic, under 10 to shoot for St. Peter's. Eaton fades away, comes up short. And stolen away from Williamson, who can't convert, and Tracy yanks it down.
That's what the kids say, smoking a layup.
Extra pass to Noel in the corner.
I thought he was off balance, but what an incredible shot.
Big time three by Ahmad Noel, now with 5, and gives VCU their largest lead of the game at 17 here at the Siegel Center. VCU has started the game, or started this half, on a 10-2 run. Ahmad Noel knocking down the triple from the corner that forced St. Peter's to use a timeout, and they've come out firing. Absolutely. In the last 20 minutes.
Absolutely, and Ahmad Noel shot that last 3 with all upper body. He caught it on his tippy toes, didn't bring the ball down, just let it fly, and it was Cash Money Records where dreams come true.
Again. MC. VCU with a 17-point lead here against St. Peter's, who has yet to beat the Rams in 2 previous meetings, including the one in 2021. That was a team that went to the Elite 8 that season. Shot clock is down to 7 for Eaton. Going up against Djokovic. Shot clock down to 2 for Bakari. Evans the long rebound.
VCU might have got away with a foul right there. It was before the shot, but foul nonetheless.
Tracy got Bakari in the air. Tracy leans in, doesn't go. Out of bounds to St. Peter's.
And that's 2 fouls missed by the officials.
We got a timeout on the floor with 15-14 left in regulation. VCU with a 17-point lead on St. Peter's. Great crowd here at the Siegel Center to see VCU lead by 17 over St. Peter's, and Lazar Djokovic. Looks like that ankle is good, and he's done an all-around game tonight. 11 points, 3 rebounds, 3 blocks, 5 of 7 from the line, and has done that in 18 minutes of work.
Absolutely, and the thing about this VCU team, they have a lot of guys that can put up numbers and score within the offense. Nobody has to be selfish. Everybody can share the wealth.
Brent Bland back in the lineup for St. Peter's, wearing number 1. Eaton looks a little gimpy right now on this trip. Going with the alley-oop to Lucas Scroggins, who draws the foul, and he will go to the line. Tracy whistled for his second.
That was a great find by Eaton.
Only the 13th foul for VCU. St. Peter's with 5 so far in the half. And Lucas Scroggins, who I believe has some family here in attendance, redshirt sophomore from Woodbridge, Virginia, about an hour north on 95, went to C.D. Hilton.
Woodbridge. I don't know too many things about Woodbridge.
It's a nice area.
Things to know about Woodbridge.
It's a nice area. Woodbridge, Dumfries, that Nova area.
Okay, okay.
C.D. Hilton, very, very good program, both on the basketball and also on the high school football front.
Okay.
2 made free throws for Scroggins, makes it a 15-point lead. And Scroggins comes up with a deflection. Tries to save it in play, and Gupton could not, as they call that, an over and back.
And like I said, there is a thin line between attacking the press and being sped up. And right there you saw how VCU got sped up.
Now we've got a conference. A.J. Desai is talking to the scores table. And I think that is going to, they says an inadvertent whistle and no backcourt. Claire Aubrey at first called it a backcourt, and A.J. Desai was overruled the call.
Ooh. That's a tricky play.
I have to go back and watch that. Robinson with the switch on Djokovic. Goes high off the window. St. Peter's with another chance.
Good closer by Barry Evans. Not trying to give Bland any space.
Bland, I think, has only taken one shot in this second half. Shot clock down to 5 for Robinson. And yanking down the rebound was Evans.
And like I said, it's hard to duplicate an 18-point half. So somebody else is going to have to step up.
Djokovic draws contact by Scroggins, his third. Tell you what, both coaches on the sideline, they getting their steps in.
Getting the steps in, working on the lungs, talking with the officials.
Seemed like now you could tell which coach was maybe a guard when they played.
Absolutely.
And we got 2 former guards as head coaches for the respective teams. Martelli, obviously a St. Joe's grad, played for his dad, Phil Martelli Sr. We mentioned about Bashir playing at Drexel. And the great rivalry between the Dragons and the Rams when they were in the CAA together. Noel, nice pass to Ward!
Hey now, watch your head.
Who got on his pogo stick and brought the sledgehammer down.
The air up there. Put a hard hat on.
11 for Ward, and here comes a turnover. Here is Evans going with the finger roll. Offensive foul. They call Barry Evans with the offensive foul.
And I knew Coach, he was working on it, and he for sure got it. They called a charge on that foul, and, and Coach Martelli will let the officials have it.
And you see his brother, Jimmy Martelli, standing in front of older brother Phil, because he's close to getting a second technical.
Woo! Intensity.
Took only the second home game for Martelli to get his first. We're going to see the replay, and you be the judge at home.
Ooh. Let's see it again. Hold on. This is a better angle.
I don't know about that.
I'm not sure about that one either.
We got our colleagues here beside us who just saw the replay, and they're in amazement as well.
They were trying to say, I guess he was trying to get at the official was trying to say the off arm was aggressive, but there was no extension.
Zero extension.
That's a tough call.
1 of 2 made free throws on that trip. And Robinson draws a foul.
Now the officials have to reel the game back in, or get extra physical and lead to something we don't want to see. But that was an incredible play by both teams. I guess you just got to live with the official call, the official mix.
Got to erase it and play the next play. It's a great individual effort there by Evans. Negated by his second foul at that point, and then he picked up another one, so he's going to the bench with now 3 personal fouls.
What a turn of events.
Because that easily could have been a 3-point play.
Absolutely.
On the other end.
And the lid in here, the lid would have came off the roof in here.
Bakari with a knockdown 3. And that's a 13-point lead. Turnover by VCU. St. Peter's with numbers. Bakari draws a foul, and they're going to call a goaltend on VCU.
What a turn of events. What a turn of events.
A goaltend is called on VCU. It's now an 11-point lead. And now Bakari at the line, a chance to get it down to 10.
Now we'll see if VCU can gather themselves and get back into the groove they had. Or will St. Peter's be able to use that turn of events to get this lead a little bit closer, stay a little bit closer, and find their way to a victory today?
It's a 7-0 St. Peter's run to get to within 10. Tracy has it against Gupton, and he draws the foul. Clarence Armstrong now talking to VCU's bench before saying TJ Robinson was called for the foul. And that's team foul number 9. Check is 7 team fouls. So from here on out, for the final 12-24, every foul on St. Peter's will send VCU to the line.
And both teams are at the basically at the limit for bonuses. You got to play good, clean defense without fouling. But as an offensive player, you want to attack the rim and put the pressure on the referees.
Because we've seen them be a little bit tight in this second half. Djokovic keeps it alive for the Rams. Noel for 3. Long rebound to Williamson. Here's Robinson taking it coast to coast. And the Peacocks are within 9.
A nice hesitation move right there. Getting back to that left hand for a scoop finish.
VCU led by 17 in this half. And the Peacocks are on a 9-2 run. Here's Tracy drawing the foul. And that would have been a continuation.
Yeah, Tracy got the memo. He's not settling for threes. He's getting to the cup, attacking the rim.
Scroggins is called for his 4th. He is in the danger zone as Tracy will shoot free throws. But we come back with VCU up 9. All right, time to look at our Virginia Credit Union assists of the game. Tyrell Ward, the sledgehammer against Scroggins. But check out the pass by Noel.
Absolutely. Great move by Noel. Great cutting without the ball by Ward. And using that athleticism with the hair blowing in the wind to dunk on him.
That's the Virginia Credit Union assists of the game, benefiting the Children's Hospital of Richmond at VCU. Now we have 2 of the officials. They were at the DV replay monitor. AJ Desai stays there, getting the assist from Nikki. And we don't know as of right now what they are looking at.
I guess they had it on. They were looking to see who the foul was called on the previous play.
So I think that she showed, that was Claire Aubrey showing Bashir Mason the number 4. So we're going to get the assumption that Bakari was called for that last foul. So Bakari is whistled for his first. As we have a slight delay, it looks like
some blood, maybe?
Blood on the arm of Tracy or the wrist area. That's Tracy over there near the VCU bench. Looking like they are cleaning a cut. But he stays in the game and will go to the line to shoot the free throws. 7 points in the game for Jadrian Tracy, the transfer from Oregon by way of St. Joe's.
And Tracy's one of those guys that does a little bit of everything. And I look forward to him down the stretch to make a lot of good plays, whether that be assisting his teammates or getting to the line like he's been doing, or maybe hitting some threes as well.
9 on the night for Tracy, second team preseason A-10 selection. And the lead is back to double digits. Terrence Hill will see his first action of this half, wearing number 6 along with Michael Bell, number 8.
I think this is the first time Michael Bell has been back in the game since blowing the coverage on Bland.
And Bland yet to score in this half and is currently on the bench. Here is Morgan. Bell with the rebound as he hits the floor and is called for a travel.
I agree. It is a travel. The fans may not like it, but by the rules, that is a travel.
The 12th VCU turnover in the game. St. Peter's has committed 11. And a chance to get it to single digits with a made basket. Bakari for three. Offensive rebound, Williamson. Going amongst the trees, gets his own miss, and Noel the rebound. Hill, catch and shoot, and hits again.
St. Peter's has to get back and get matched up. They lack communication on that transition defense. Terrence Hill made them pay.
Look at that pressure in the backcourt that causes a turnover. Ward kept it alive, but Williamson recovered it. Another deflection by the Rams. And now they're going to get a 10-second call on VCU, even though the Rams had possession.
I don't agree with that either. I don't agree with that either. It looked as if the Rams had possession, and then St. Peter's got possession, and then the Rams got possession again. Looked confusing. I'll give the benefit of the doubt to the officials.
And now Tyrell Ward is called for a technical. Second technical called on the Rams tonight. Coach Martelli was whistled for one earlier in this half.
And this is what you don't want to see. You don't want to see Bland, who's having a cold second half, step to the free throw line and hope to find a rhythm. VCU has to hold their heads.
Two made free throws for Bland. His first point scored in this half, now with 20. That was a very interesting call there by A.J. Desai, calling the 10-second violation when VCU had possession of the ball.
It was extremely odd.
Here's Tracy inside, like a locomotive. And he'll get 2 attempts at the strike.
And you can tell that he has some experience playing college basketball because he is not taking his foot off the gas when it comes to attacking the rim and attacking the paint. This is his third time going to the free throw line in this half.
Tracy has played in over 120 games at 3 different schools, St. Joe's, Oregon, and here at VCU. Coming off a 16-point performance against Utah State last Friday. He's now in double figures with 10, now 11.
And he just plays the right way. You have to love a player that can fill the stat sheet by playing the right way.
His 12th double-digit game of his career. Lead is back to 14 for VCU. Here's Bland off a screen, comes up short. Bell kept that alive, and now a tie-up called as Gupton was on the floor, and the arrow will stay on this side with St. Peter's.
And now the officials are not in the grace of the Ram fans. Every call is being being looked at a little bit extra and a little bit harder than it should, but they are letting them hear it.
Things getting a little chippy, and like you said earlier, they're going to have to, all 3 officials will have to reel it in for the final 9:50 plus. Gupton guarded by Bell. Gupton to the rim and scores. Ja'Kai Gupton, the junior from out of Oakland, California, with his first basket. VCU leading 61-49. Jennings, the little floater. And Gupton yanks down the rebound. And once again, St. Peter's with a chance to get it to under single digits.
St. Peter's doing a pretty good job defensively. I still like that shot from B. Jennings.
Here is Morgan inside. Out of bounds, it'll stay with St. Peter's.
They are playing extremely hard, and down there they are clashing and bashing down there.
Well, it's something that Coach Martelli stressed to his team this week, the physicality of St. Peter's, and could they match it on both ends?
And they're doing a good job. They're doing a good job, in my opinion.
9 to go in the game. Bland had it partially blocked by Bell, and he comes up with the loose ball. Jennings to Djokovic, no whistle, a lot of contact, and here comes St. Peter's.
And here comes the booze.
Here's Morgan, and that's a whistle as Bell is called for the foul. And Coach Martelli is in disbelief on the VCU sideline.
It's a tough job to be an official.
I wouldn't want it.
It's a tough job to be an official. I've been asked multiple times, hey, Ed, would you like to come out and be an official? No, thank you. No, thank you. You keep your booze and your death threats to yourself.
Yeah, that was an obvious miss as Morgan got Djokovic on the arm, and he made one of 2 free throws on the offensive end as Eaton is called for his third. So we may see a lot of free throws for the final 8:41. It's double bonus time for VCU, as that was team foul number 10 on St. Peter's. The next Ram foul will send St. Peter's to the line for a double bonus.
So now it's really going to come down to who can play the cleanest brand of basketball down the stretch. Take care of the ball, play defense without fouling, get clean rebounds, get great shots.
Hill with a second free throw and a lane violation. As Gupton is talking to Clarence Armstrong and said, I got bumped, which caused the lane violation. And now Armstrong is talking to Brandon Jennings about it. Clarence Armstrong, seen him a lot in the ACC, officiating games. The lead official tonight, along with A.J. Desai.
So I know he's used to these type of games where
no question.
Where it's bang-bang in a hostile environment. That experience pays dividends when you're going into these type of games.
He's been to the Camerons, the Dean Domes, the Carrier Domes. 2 made free throws for Terrence Hill. And they get Jennings with a foul on the sideline.
Clean brand of basketball. Granted, was that a ticky-tack foul? Maybe. However, there's no need to do that. There's no need to put your team in this situation where now St. Peter's in a double bonus. There's no need for that 30 feet from the basket.
St. Peter's now 16 of 18 from the stripe. VCU 21 of 29. So we've got a combined 47 free throw attempts tonight. And 37 combined fouls with 2 techs called in this game. Coach Martelli was called for a T, and also Ward was whistled for a T.
But this game, with both teams being so physical, it was bound to happen.
Which team was going to be more physical? Djokovic gave up the 3, goes behind the back to Jennings, and he's fouled. That is Bland's third.
In both teams, just stop reaching. You can play great defense with your hands and your arms by your ears and use your body to wall up. Everybody's being undisciplined right now, reaching, and the referees are making them pay.
What do you attribute that to? Tiredness.
I mean, to be honest, it could be fatigue. It could be fatigue. It could be mental fatigue, to be honest with you. More so than physical fatigue, it could be mental fatigue. This game has been competitive and back and forth. So many ups and downs.
Evans takes away the rebound from Gupton. Great hustle by Evans again. Shot clock is at 10 for VCU. Deflected by Eaton and saves it off of Lewis, out of bounds.
Good hustle by Eaton.
There's some frustration on that face of Coach Martelli.
You have to be a goldfish. And that goes for everybody. Goldfish.
A goldfish.
A goldfish. They have no memory. Once it happens, it's over with. You have to move on to the next page, to the next play. Or be a goldfish and beat Dory from Finding Nemo.
We entertain and educate. Under 8 to go in regulation for Morgan, who misses on the 3, and Ewing an offensive rebound. Morgan looking to create, finding Bland. And Evans another rebound. That's his 7th. Here's Ward creating, and he doesn't finish. Ewing the rebound. Quickly up ahead is Eaton. And he can't finish.
They are competing right now. What an effort by Ward to get back.
Djokovic will slow it up.
Slow it down. Get into your sets. The clock is on your side.
Djokovic in the high post. Going up against Ewing. Twisting. Turning. Evans the offensive rebound. Lewis had it taken away, and Ewing cleans it up.
This is a competitive but sloppy game. Shout out to both teams competing with all their heart.
Inside 7 minutes. St. Peter's has made one of their last 10. Bland for 3. Got it.
It's only a matter of time.
Oh, a little tribute to John Cena. As he knocks down the 3. And a timeout on the floor with 6:41 to go. Bland now with 23, and VCU's lead is down to 9.
And when you're guarding a guy like Bland,
you're going to have to wear the vest, the hard hat, the Timbs. You're going to come to fight here tonight. Absolutely. This has been a, like you said, a back and forth, Ed. Some sloppiness, some physicalness.
Now I've seen boring, sloppy games before. And usually I turn the TV off and proceed to drink my beer. But no, this game has been very entertaining, just sloppy at moments. Both teams competing very hard.
6.5 to go, and VCU with a 9-point lead. Here is Evans trying to create over Ewing. Does so, and a chance at a 3-point play.
And this is where senior leadership comes into play. Things are going this way, that way. Who has the experience, who has the toughness, who has the ability to make plays when it's needed?
Ewing is like, where was the foul? Had to be the body, if anything.
Looked at him too hard. It was a physical stare.
It might have been. 7 for Barry Evans tonight, and a steal by Lewis. Finding Ward. Another sledgehammer.
Ward to Warden. Cut him off.
And just like that, the lead's back to 14.
And look at this freshman matchup.
And now another switch with Robinson and Tracy. Long 3 by Bland, wouldn't go. Djokovic the rebound.
Again, with their switching, VCU got let off the hook there.
Evans will hoist up a 3. Bland clears. Does St. Peter's have another run in them? They're down 14. Robinson a step back 3. Offensive rebound, Ewing, and he converts.
Like he came down out of a plane on a parachute right there.
Second chance points tonight, 12-2 in favor of St. Peter's, and they're within 12. Djokovic in the corner. Tracy keeps it alive, recovered by Lewis.
Nick Lewis is everywhere right now.
Ward for three. Thought that was going in. Djokovic kept it alive and taps it out of bounds.
VCU did a good job of hustling, trying to keep the ball alive, however, wasn't able to convert. But you gotta love the effort. And if you're St. Peter's, you have to hit somebody. You cannot sit and turn and just jump. You have to physically put your butt into somebody's hip and push back so you can be able, so you can be able to go get that rebound.
St. Peter's in this half, just 7 of 26 from the field, 26.9%. VCU 8 of 20. Gupton for three. Shot an air ball and was not saved by the Peacocks.
That was Monkey D. Luffy. Monkey D. Luffy, they went sailing right there. Right out of bounds. Got to be careful. Somebody close the door.
And Ed doesn't write these up. This is all off the top of his head, folks. We're inside money time. Under 4.5 to go. The lead's 12 for VCU. Here is Ward with the scoop off the window. And Gupton yanks down the rebound.
I love the drive. Wish he had more control.
Can Bland get a touch here if you're St. Peter's? Robinson going up against Djokovic. Looking inside to Bakari and blocked by Djokovic, his fourth of the game. Up ahead is Evans, another sledgehammer.
Great job by Tracy to have his head up to find the streaking Evans for an easy two.
30-second timeout, which is turned to a full. The defense sets up the offense, and Barry Evans with his easiest two of the game as VCU's up 14. (71-57) VCU with a 14-point lead, and we look at the second half stats. Ed Nixon, what do you like about it?
What I like is that they're competing on the boards, 19-19. But what I like if I'm a VCU fan is that VCU has completely shut down St. Peter's ability to get going on a three-point line, only shooting 18%.
At one point, it was a 9-point lead, 66-57 for VCU, and they have come back to make it a 14-point lead. Started with great defense to turn into instant offense.
Pesky defense by VCU.
Yeah, Gupton was trapped. As we're coming up on 3.5 to go in regulation. Robinson guarded by Evans with 9 to shoot. Deflected by Ward. It'll stay with St. Peter's with 6 to shoot.
And you can see the impact of Lazar's defense becoming a threat now. Usually Robinson would have tried to get that to the cup. But seeing Lazar down, he's like, oh, let me make this pass.
Tonight's VCU starting lineup was presented by Steelhead Management, the official housing partner of VCU Athletics and home to the best lineup of apartment complexes in Central Virginia. A long three by Eaton with 1 to shoot, and recovered by Morgan of St. Peter's, and a new 20 for the Peacocks.
Long shots equal long rebounds, which are very hard. It's very hard to box out when it comes to that.
The lob to Scroggins, who brings it home. And the Scroggins contingent behind the St. Peter's bench, showing approval of his first basket. Lewis got Gupton in the air and doesn't get the roll, and Evans with a great follow.
And quiet as kept, Barry Evans is having his best game in a VCU jersey. Now with 11 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists. Mr. I can do it all.
A big reason why Martelli wanted him to come from Bryant to VCU. Eaton over Djokovic. And out of bounds to VCU. 73-59. VCU 2 minutes and 17 seconds from going to 2-1 and continuing their home court dominance over the last year plus. They've won 16 of their last 17 here at the Siegel Center. The lob to Djokovic, off his hand, out of bounds, but last touch by Bland. Now remember, with the new rule, the coach can challenge. He does have a challenge.
I don't think that's necessary. Oh, he's going for it.
He will. He will use his coach's challenge.
And more than likely, he is right. I did not see Bland touch that basketball.
The new rule in college basketball, along with the continuation, the coach has one challenge to use. If it's one, he'll get a second. He or she will get a second. The call on the floor was last touch by St. Peter's, rather.
The only issue I have with the challenge being implemented into today's game is as the many finger twirls we're going to get throughout the game instead of just people just going to the next play. All the finger twirls is going to be crazy.
That's why the coach only gets one challenge. Because they know if that was going to happen, this could be 4+ hour games.
Oh, my goodness.
All 3 officials are at the replay monitors.
And then I'm going to need some more money.
Take note. Clarence Armstrong, A.J. Desai, and Claire Aubrey. Question is, did it go off of Bland after Djokovic touched it?
To be honest with you, I would be extremely impressed if it did. Because that means Bland is jumping out of the gym.
Yeah.
He has Vince Carter like hops.
Unless it went off of his left hand, we really can't tell. You can see it goes off of Djokovic there. But did Bland swipe it after the initial touch by Djokovic?
Maybe. On the way down, maybe so. How do you make this call?
It's got to be indisputable evidence to overturn it. Because the initial call was off of St. Peter's. And they overturned it.
I believe it's the right call.
So St. Peter's won the challenge and will get another challenge if they elect to use it. A.J. Desai came over saying that the challenge was successful. They don't lose a timeout and keep their challenge with the new rule. And also get possession down by 14 with under 2 to go. Deflected by Djokovic. Up ahead to Lewis against Ewing. It counts in the foul.
Sick Nick Lou for 2. And out of a timeout, you just won the challenge. You just don't want to turn the ball over in that position. And then at that, insult to injury, it's a live ball turnover. And then it turns into a 3-point play. I mean,
they compounded the
compounded
the problem. Multiple compounds. And Lewis converts on the 3-point play now with 6. He had his best game in a Ram uniform Friday in the loss, scored a career-high 19 against Utah State. And Djokovic, again, having his fingerprints all over this game tonight. Forcing that shot, that difficult shot by Eric Morgan.
Sometimes you don't even have to block the shot. But if you get an offensive player to change the shot, you've done your job.
An alteration is as good as a block. Ward in the corner, misses on the three. And St. Peter's has it with 1 minute to go. Here is Bland to the rim. Now with 25 on the night, 2 shy of matching his career high. He's going to be somebody dangerous.
Absolutely.
In the NEC this year.
You got to be careful with him.
Nice ball movement by the Rams, and Ward will get 2 cracks at the line. Gupton picks up his 4th foul, becomes the 2nd Peacock in the danger zone.
A little bit of back and forth between Bland and Ward. Competing with 38 seconds left, up 15 points. I like trash talk in the game now. I don't think you should ever get well, unless it's over the top. But for the most part, I like a little trash talk. I like a little mean stare. That's not how you get in trouble for staring at somebody. It's impolite.
The eyes are talking. The eyes can say a lot.
Let the guys be guys and play the game. Let the players be players and play the game. That's why I watch the WNBA. The WNBA, all the trash talk goes. They let them go. They let them play. And it adds another element. When somebody's in your face,
especially
like that,
when you're scoring buckets.
Yeah,
it's
how do you respond to that? That's a part of the game.
Eden on another miss on the 3. 6 of 24 from 3 tonight for St. Peter's. And you see a few fans here now. Most of the fans at the Siegel Center giving the Rams a standing ovation as they dealt with several rallies in the second half for St. Peter's. And probably will not take a shot. They'll dribble out the shot clock. Game's not over yet. It's 0.5 of a second left.
And the lights back on.
A little premature on the lights going out. But it will give VCU a 78-61 win to go to 2-1 on the year. 2-0 at home. 17 of their last 18 here at the Siegel Center. And then a date with a former Rams coach awaiting them.
I can't wait for that. I cannot wait for that.
We'll talk a little bit about that after the break. VCU wins it 78-61 over St. Peter's. Next broadcast will be a week from Saturday, November 22nd, as the Eagles of Coppin State from the MEAC come to the Siegel Center to play VCU. Rams' next game is Monday night. They'll face former VCU head coach Will Wade and the Wolfpack of NC State. A nice matchup against a Power 5 program down in Raleigh.
Cannot wait. Cannot wait.